Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly video. I am very excited to talk about today's topic. And before I get started, I would like to remind everybody, if you have not already, to click the sign up button and sign up for my weekly email blog. Every week I send out an email with a nice article talking about some topic that might help you have some insights or awarenesses to help you throughout your life. Today, for the conversation, the topic is going to be about being perfect, or at least trying to. So many people, many of us, me included, have a tendency to strive for perfection. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and ultimately, that is really not the most ideal way to live. One might ask, why do we do this? Where does this come from? And for the most part, just like with most things, this effort to be perfect comes from fear. Fear can drive a lot of our tendencies and a lot of the things in our lives that are not working. Things we tolerate, things we put up with, things we do that don't serve us well. And this is no different. So when we're trying to be perfect, very often it's because we have a fear around being criticized. We have a fear around being judged. We have a fear around self-shaming ourselves. We're afraid of looking bad in any way, shape, or form, whether it's to other people or to even to ourselves. So this week, I got present to the impact of that. Throughout my life, I've personally had varying degrees of perfectionism, and a lot of it I have given up and tried to allow myself the space to be human, to make mistakes and whatnot. And that is very good cognitively, but sometimes when something happens in the moment, boom, these things come back. That's part of what I want to talk about as well today. So this past week, I had a situation. My dogs ran out in the road and were barking at my neighbor's dog. Nobody was hurt. Nothing bad happened other than it was not a good situation. Obviously, my dog should not be running in the road. And the neighbor was upset, as she had every right to be. Called my dogs. They came back. Everything was fine. Other than everything wasn't fine, because when I came into the house, I felt awful. Like, there's normal awful about, oh my gosh, this happened. You know, my dog could have been hit by a car. What if somebody bit somebody? Like, all the awful normal things. But I beat myself up about this to a point where I was very interested in actually observing it. I at first was, oh my God, I thought I was going to be sick, then I wanted to start crying. And I was very curious about this strong reaction that I was having. I got this particular neighbor, I didn't know her super well, so I got her phone number, I sent her a text message, and I apologized and accepted responsibility and the whole 9 yards. So I went off to my yoga class and was really intrigued. I was like, wow, Jen, there's upset, but you are really, really upset. What is going on here for you? And what I realized was that I really had a hard time with but showing up in a way that was not favorable. And obviously I'm responsible for my dogs. So even though I didn't do the behavior of running out into the road, that doesn't matter. And I really got present to how much that is there for me, that, I can't make a mistake. I can't look bad. So much of what we do in life is around looking good and avoiding looking bad and avoiding judgment. And that was really there for me. And what was nice about it was that it did provide me an opportunity to observe myself and to learn this, and therefore release it. I let it go. I knew that I had made my peace, do what I have to do to make sure this doesn't happen again. And I moved on. And I really started to think about where this came from. Obviously it's been there somewhat throughout my whole life, but I started thinking about the profession of veterinary medicine and how much of an expectation of perfection there is. There's very little tolerance for not knowing one of the 10 million things that there is to know about every animal, every breed, every drug, every body system, and the criticism that comes if you don't know, or if something doesn't go right with a surgery, or somebody has a complication, or just this need to even emotionally be perfect. You have to get along with everybody, you have to be nice to everybody. You people go from performing a euthanasia with people crying and gut wrenching, and walk out the door, and we're expected to walk into the next appointment smiling and happy, and if we're not, then it's like, oh my, that didn't care. I mean, the criticism that comes at people in this profession is really astounding. And with that comes the desire to avoid that criticism, and that is perfection. So it was really a great opportunity, and I wanted to just share a little bit about the choice of letting that go, because we are not perfect. The strive to be perfect is futile. And all it does, the irony of it, is that the strive for perfection is the exact opposite. It's complete imperfection, in the sense of it just makes us miserable. It serves nobody. Nobody believes it. We don't believe it. The other people don't believe it. And there's this stress and pressure of never being good enough. Nothing's ever right. And so I would just encourage you to look around, whether you're in veterinary medicine or not, look around in your life, and where do you need to be that perfect parent or that perfect pet owner? Where do you criticize your body? Where do you criticize your behavior? If you have a bad day and perhaps snap at somebody or say something about somebody else behind their back, you know, how do you then treat yourself after? How much of a beating up process goes on? And where can you start to let that go? Where can you say, you know what? I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I say things I don't mean to say sometimes. I say sometimes things that it may not be nice. Um, I my daughter or my dog might do something that is not perfect either. And it's all okay. It's okay to not have that, whatever you consider to be a perfect body. It's okay. Everything already is perfect. And that is what is so crazy about it, is all the stuff that I just said, it's all perfect. We're all perfect the way we are. The mishaps, the mistakes, the things you say, the things people do, the upsets, the extra pounds. It's all perfect. We are perfect. And that's where the irony comes in, is that strive for perfection actually strips us of recognizing the perfection that we already are. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, because I really had thought that I had gotten over that, and I put that in air quotes. And that was the other thing I mentioned earlier I wanted to bring up, is just understanding as well that as we're on our journey of growth and development and self-discovery, it's very easy sometimes to have an awareness and be like, oh, I recognize something, or I have an aha moment. And then all of a sudden, somewhere down the line, it pops up again. And then you're like, oh, I'm regressing. Oh, I thought I'd gotten over that. Oh, and then you can beat yourself up. Why am I doing that again? And understanding that that's all normal. When we have our concerns, our insecurities, our limiting beliefs, our internal blocks, when we gain awareness about these things and we gain power to choose whether to listen to them or not in a moment, it doesn't mean that they go away. It just means that you are aware and now at choice. But it's about choosing again and again and again and again. And the way I have always liked to look at it is whatever that thing is you start out here, and it's like you're looking through this lens at life, and you start to get glimpses around it. But over time, what happens is, it's not that this concern or belief or block is gone, but you're able to do this. And the coming back is smaller, and you can, as soon as it starts to, you can push it away so that you can see with clarity, and you can be free of the effects of this block, belief, self-criticism, insecurity, whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't actually go away. It kind of sits here, and pretty soon it just kind of hangs back here, and then you have peace around it. Like, you forget that it's even there. So I just wanted, again, to remind everybody about this. When things happen to me, I love to use that as an opportunity to explore it and share it, because we're all on this journey together. We're all looking to grow. We're all looking to be free from our suffering that honestly most of the time is self-created. So again, I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and thank you for listening. And I hope to see everybody on the email blog, and I'll see you next week. Bye.